What's up? It's your boy Kazi, welcome to Kazi Plays, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Gambit in today's guide. So without further ado, let's get into it. To start things off, let's first talk about his role. Gambit is a strategist, aka a support character that has a wide range of utility that allows him to get in and out of situations, put pressure on the enemy team, and also keep his team alive. And in certain situations, he actually is able to save his team from certain death. However, like I mentioned earlier, with Gambit, he has a wide range of utility, which means that it's a lot more stuff that you're going to have to learn to get the hang of him. And on top of that, you are going to need to have proper decision making in order to decide on when is the best time to use each part of his kit. So yeah, that 4-star difficulty that he has on him is legit. He is not that easy to pick up for a lot of you. Before we move on to his kit, if you are on controller, then this next part is going to be for you, and if you are not, don't worry, just go ahead and skip over to the next part. Now you're going to go ahead and head over to your settings, go all the way to controller, go to combat, and then make sure you're on Gambit's settings specifically. Then head over to advanced, scroll all the way down to where you see it says close range aim assist and turn that on. Essentially, this is going to help you aim better against those divers that are super close up in your face. Up next, let's go over his abilities. His primary shoots out 3 cards out at once that either heals your allies or it damages enemies. His next ability uses his staff to slam on the ground and creates a shockwave that heals you or your allies or it damages enemies. His next ability is a small dash, but if you press the slam button while you're mid-dash, you actually heal yourself and your allies and you do damage. His next ability is called the Healing Hearts, and in order to activate it, it costs one of the cards that you can see under my crosshair. And when you do activate it, first it heals you over time, and second, it turns your Healing Hearts and Breaking Spades into 2 new abilities. And in order to use them, it costs an additional card. Flush shoots out a healing card that bounces between your allies and grants a healing boost. Raise triggers an explosion that heals your allies, and also it purifies them from any abnormalities like a Gru ult, Strange ult, or an Angela ult. Now, like Healing Hearts, Breaking Spades also requires 1 card to activate it, and it gives you a damage boost. And it also changes your Healing Hearts and Breaking Spades into 2 new abilities that are completely different from the Healing Hearts, and it also does require an additional card to either raise or flush. With raise, you trigger an explosion that knocks all the enemies back and up into the air. With flush, you go ahead and shoot a bunch of cards at the enemy, and upon hitting them, they receive reduced healing. And yes, this ability does have splash damage, so you're able to hit multiple targets with it. And finally, with his ultimate, when you first activate it, it'll require you to confirm it, but before you do, you are able to lock on to allies that are in your sight, but you are able to activate this through walls as well, as long as they're in your general direction. If you do look away, as you can see, the bots, I'm not locked onto them anymore because I have to be looking in their general direction even if it's through a wall. But once I do confirm it, everybody gets an increased movement speed, jump boost, ultimate charges faster, and on top of that, you get healing over time. He also has a team up with Magneto that changes his primary into swords for a limited amount of time that does increase damage. Before we move on, if you enjoy this type of content and want to dive further into the community, I do got a Discord link will be in the description below. There we talk about Marvel Rivals, anime, manga, and whatnot, so if you're interested, feel free to stop by, we'd love to have you. Moving on, let's go over his crosshair. Now, if we take a look at the crosshair, there are 3 parts to it. There's the yellow dot in the middle, there's the 4 blue dots on the outside, and there's the barely visible white circle. So with the 3 dots in the middle, it's supposed to help show you where the shots are gonna land, because remember, Gambit fires out 3 cards at once, so the 3 dots are gonna show you where your shots are gonna land at. Moving on to the circle, it's supposed to show the range of the cards, because as long as a body part of the enemy is inside of this circle, they will get hit. And keep in mind that, like Ultron, Gambit can't headshot, so just going for any shot on the body is all that matters with him. Here are the crosshair settings for Gambit, so go ahead and pause the video at any time so you can go ahead and copy them down. Up next, let's go over some combos. I'll go ahead and put the inputs up on the screen so you guys will know what buttons I'm pressing for each combo. And finally, let's go over his playstyle. In neutral, you want to make sure that you're close to your team, not to the point where you're hugging your tanks, but enough to where your cards aren't spreading out too far. Because if you don't know already, with Gambit's primary, he shoots 3 cards out, and the further you go, the more the cards spread out, which means that less of the cards are going to hit your teammates. Now, depending on which comp your team is running is going to dictate which route you take. If your team has a lot of sustainability, then you want to go ahead and activate the break-in spades a lot more, especially for if your team gets an enemy low, you can go ahead and use the spades flush to go ahead and pop that reduced healing and possibly finish them off. On the other hand, if your team doesn't have a lot of sustainability, then you want to go ahead and use the healing hearts more to keep them alive, especially if they're taking a lot of damage at once. You can use the hearts flush to give them a boost of healing, or you can go ahead and use the hearts raise to purify them if they get caught in an ult like Stranger Groot. The most important thing with Gambit, I would say, is managing his card stocks, because unlike characters like Daredevil or the Human Torch where they have ways to refill their stocks a lot faster, Gambit has to just wait over time for it to naturally recharge. So in order for you to be able to manage his card stocks properly, you need to have decent decision making skills, and you learn those skills by playing the game over time, because then you'll learn what is the best call for each situation. With Spades Flush, I found it as a really good way to help kill supports through their ultimates. For example, like if a Luna popped her ultimate, you go ahead and pop your Spades Flush on the Luna, and then Mag, he pops his ultimate on the Luna. And remember, the Spades Flush, it does reduced healing, which means that she's going to receive less healing, which means that chances of you killing her is going to be a lot higher. Another thing I would say it's helpful is try not to panic ult so much with Gambit, because I've seen a lot of people in my matches and videos online where people, they panic ult and either they get just themselves or they get like maybe 1 or 2 people from their team locked on in their ultimate, and with that you don't get the full value of it. So with all the tools that Gambit has in his kit, I would say try your best to line it up so you can get everybody into your ultimate, because having a calm and cool mind is what's gonna help you win these games. With Healing Hearts and Breaking Spades, if you just let the activation run out and you don't press flush or raise, you actually get that card back. With Gambit's ultimate, I find there are 2 main situations for you to pop it in. Either 1, you're popping it whenever you're starting a fight, or 2, you're popping it to save your team. Like for example, if a Strange pop is ultimate, you can go ahead and pop your ultimate to counter that and purify the team so they can get out of that jam. The reason why I say this is because, in case you don't know already, with Gambit's ultimate, his healing output is a lot lower compared to other support ultimates like Cloak and Dagger or Invisible Woman. So it's best for you to start your fight with it rather than to use it as a counter ult. I would say it would probably be better to just disengage from the fight and back up and regroup and wait for the enemy's ultimate to run out, then go in. And that's everything on how to play Gambit. But if I did leave something out or you did discover something new, feel free to put in the comments below to help each other out. And yeah, if you do want more Marvel Rivals on the channel, why don't you go ahead and support your boy. I'll go ahead and catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.